Okay, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. If someone can let me know in the chat, either by unmuting or sharing verbally, let me know if you can see me and let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you and I can see you.
Excellent. So then I assume that that means that I am being able to be seen and heard by everybody else. I am a woman of my word. It is now 6:35 Eastern. And so we are going to go ahead and get started with this training. Okay. So first, we're going to lay out how the training is going to work. I obviously have a slideshow here, a presentation. It's called How to Find the Partner You Deserve 4.0. The reason why it's 4.0 is because this is the fourth rendition. So every time that I do this training, I add something new, something special, an update, some guidance, and some support for all of you. Okay. So now that you are here, let's talk about the formula. I'm going to go through the presentation. I'm going to go through one, working on you, all the way through how to date, like practical application on how to date successfully. That's going to take me about 55 minutes, right? About 55 minutes to an hour. This is what I'd like for you to do. If you have any questions, you can, one, write them down, two, put them in the chat. However, I'm not going to be able to address them until we get to the Q&A at the end. So if you have something that's pressing that you just want to be able to record it by writing it in the chat, that's perfectly fine if you don't have pen and paper or you don't prefer to write it down. However, I won't be able to answer that question until the end. If you have to leave, if you have to go, that's perfectly fine. As someone who has registered for this training, I'm going to email you the replay for absolutely free, which is rare, but I'm telling you, I'm going to mail it to you. Give me like 48 hours. So if you have to go, no biggie. If you have to go and pop back in, no biggie, but just expect there may be a wait time because I do have my assistant here on the call, but she may take a moment if she's wrapped up in the presentation to let you back in. So please be patient. I know I have some folks who are DMing me on Instagram saying that they can't get in. I'm so glad that I caught you now because for the next 55 minutes or hour and a half, 55 minutes of me speaking, I'm not going to be looking at my phone. If you have any friends who you know who signed up, help them because I can't. I'm going to be helping and working with all of you. Okay. I do have to keep the Q&A at about 20 to 25 minutes because after this live training, I'm going to be hopping on live on Instagram to continue my series, which I'm calling Love in Business. I'm doing interviews with people who are involved in many elements of business and talking about how it impacts their relationship. So I'll be hopping off to do that. So we'll have about 55 minutes or an hour of presentation, about 20, 25 minutes of Q&A. Feel free to ask me anything. You want to ask about me personally. You want to ask about advice I offer for dating, for relationships, for marriage, for baby daddies, for baby mamas, anything and everything. I am here to support you. I'm going to try my best to give examples for both men and women because I know we have some men on the call. And gentlemen, I do apologize if sometimes my examples lean more towards women just because that's my larger audience. But my intention is to support any and everybody, no matter who you are and no matter who you love. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so I want to get a gauge, folks, of how you're feeling. And I really want you guys to be interactive. You don't have to speak. However, please go ahead and put in the chat as I present. And then when we get to the Q&A, I'm going to ask you to speak because I'm going to be talking for an hour straight. So how are you feeling? Let me know in the comments. Are you afraid that perhaps you'll never find that fulfilling, loving partnership? Or are you dreading dating again? You think that there's pee in the dating pool, as people say. Are you afraid that there are no quality people, men, women, anybody of value that's in that pool? Let me know in the comments how you're feeling right now about your dating life, your dating situation, your dating circumstances. Okay, I have some people saying all three, mostly dreading dating. I know a lot of people don't like dating. I've had people say like, I just absolutely don't want to date. I want to get straight to it, which is impractical. Yes, I have someone who says that I want to have fun dating, and dating can be fun if you're strategic. The guys on dating apps are strange. The people on dating apps are strange sometimes. The people in real life, in reality, are strange sometimes. I have someone being honest. She says that she's the one with the bad habits. Dating is stressful now. All of the above with an emphasis on number 3. I get it. Okay. Thank you for sharing, y'all. I appreciate that. So let's cover what we're going to discuss. So the first thing that we're going to discuss is self-reflecting. How do we self-reflect on the mistakes that we made? And I'm so glad that that person who commented said there's some bad habits that she exhibits herself and is taking some accountability. Then we're going to talk about how to build yourself up to be the catch, so you're not running and chasing after anyone. How to sit down, how to sit back and allow love back into your life. And literally, how do you find him or her? And then we'll talk about next steps. Okay. So before we can even get into all that, I have to build some rapport with you. In case you are new to my page, who am I? So my name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I have 10 years of counseling experience. I have a master's degree in mental health counseling. Oh, I already said I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. And well, I'm no longer a newlywed, I think, by definition. So I think by definition, a newlywed is 1 year, and I have 1 year and 6 weeks in. Okay. So that's me and my husband, Andrew Wellington. Okay. So before we can move on, and this is an absolute must, I'm checking the comments. Don't think that you're getting away with this. I need you to make a promise. And I need that promise to be very simple, very easy. I need you to promise that you're going to take action. If you have been following me, if you are on my text list, if you are on my email list, you know that the number one thing that I talk about is taking action, whatever that action may be. If that action means going back to school, if that action means repairing a relationship with a friend, if that action means going to gym, I don't know and I don't care, but I'm going to give you some solid gems and next steps. And in the comments, I need you to raise your hand and tell me that you are going to take action. You're not on this call to say, well, at least I tried. You're not on this call because, oh, I like Alison, so I just want to hear what she has to say, but I have no intention of actually putting in the work. You are on this call. You are taking out an hour and 20 minutes of your life this evening because you intend to make a change. You intend to implement something that you find valuable. Maybe you won't find it all valuable, which I doubt, but if you find something valuable, you have to promise me by raising your hand that you are going to take whatever you find valuable and you are going to put it into action. I'm checking. Hand raise. Cross fingers ain't enough for me, Ashley. Hands raised. I'm making the promise. I'm ready to take action. I promise not to chase, but I attract. I'm taking action. We promise. That's so sweet. We promise. Yes. Okay. That's what I need from y'all. Taking action. It's a must. All right. So let's talk about why you need to take some action, because if not now, then when? Now is the time. Now is the time for you to get the promotion. Now is the time to gain the weight. Now is the time to lose the weight. Now is the time to get involved in a serious, monogamous, romantic relationship. Why? Biology. And I'm so sorry to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that puts the pressure because society puts enough pressure. Biology is not on our side. And that's whether or not you want to have children. So obviously, we're talking to the women right now. Biologically, if you want to have children or you want to have more children, right, with someone who you're serious about and they're serious about you, biology is not on your side. Every single day, you are getting older. Every single day, you are getting close to the end of the deadline for us biologically, right? Gentlemen too, even though they can have children whenever they want, I don't know about y'all, but I know some older men who have had children and they not all right. They ain't got it all together. The sperm gets old too, biologically, and your knees and your back. You want to be an active parent. You want to be involved. You also don't want to be the oldest one at the PTA meeting at the football games. And you don't want to be a burden to a younger child. You don't want to be sickly when your child is 20, if avoidable. Now is the time. Now, if you don't want children, now is still the time, and biologically, because let's be honest, and again, this is not in an effort to put more pressure. This is to highlight what we already know. When we get older, we get wiser, but according to Western societal standards, we are not getting more beautiful. We're not becoming more attractive. So even if you don't want children biologically, time is not on your side. And just in terms of the timeline, new relationships are starting every day. Now, let me tell you one of my philosophies. I do not believe in a single soulmate. I do not believe in a single soulmate. It's not one person. Because what if they're in the Amazon and I'm in Brooklyn? Then I'm just without love forever. I don't believe that God, or if you believe in the universe or whoever, any kind of higher power, or if it's nature, I don't believe that it works like that. I think that there are lots of people out there who are a good fit for you that you will be happy and fulfilled with. However, there are new relationships that are starting every day. That means that the pool is getting smaller. And if you have what one would consider high standards, then those men and women are going to get snatched up early and often. If you have a standard that this person doesn't have any children or a little amount, every day that passes, somebody else is getting pregnant. Time is of the essence. You have to take action. Have to, right? Now is still the time. Yes, two slides, because now is still the time, okay? You can do it all on your own, whatever your it is. Your it is you want to have a real estate portfolio. That's my it, right? And I can do it on my own. Your it is crypto and the stock market. You could do it on your own. Someone else's it is that they want to build, I don't know, they want to be an entrepreneur, right? They want to have a series of stores. That's their name, the Wellington brand. You can do it on your own, but why would you want to if you don't have to? If you can have a live-in partner, literally, figuratively, who can be a part of the grind with you, who can struggle with you, who can financially invest with you, that's double the income, then why would you not want that? Building an empire, whatever your empire looks like, it ain't cheap. And so if you can have someone else who is going to contribute not only financially, but sweat equity, why would you not want that to be a part of your life's plan? Now is the time. It's not, I'm gonna take a break because I'm overwhelmed. Now is the time. Push through and suck it up. I don't care if you say that you're meeting undesirable people online. Find the right app. I don't care if you say, oh, it's COVID, I don't want to go outside. Wear 3 masks. Now is the time. Okay? Now, this training is for you if you are looking for a committed relationship, this training is for you. If it is not for you, it is okay. We'll talk to you later. Bye. We're not here to play games. We're not here to waste anybody's time, yours or anyone else's. Okay? This training is for you if you're the person who tends to self-sabotage your relationships. It's going well, and you consciously or unconsciously ruin it, right? This training is for you if you date the same toxic types of people over and over and over again. They just have a different name and maybe a slightly different complexion, a slightly different build, and maybe even the same build, like really like the same guy. If you're dating the same people over and over and over again, and that's problematic for you, because clearly if you keep dating and it's not resulting in a long-term relationship, then this is not something that's working, then this training is for you. If you are afraid to love again, I get it. I really do. However, what are the options? Okay, I'm afraid to put myself out there again. Cool. So I'm not going to date anyone, and I'm 39 years old and I'll just be alone forever. I'm 27 years old. I'll just be alone forever. How ridiculous is that? I'm 55 years old. I'm going to be alone forever. You're going to be alone till you're 90 on purpose? That's impractical. We're going to turn that around in this training. And if you're ready to work, again, I'm going back to the comment of someone said, I have bad habits. This is not all about the dating apps. If you believe that your problem is strictly everyone else's, you are not my friend. You do not belong here. Every problem that we have is some of us and some of them. And that percentage might be 99% them and one of us. It might be 99% us, 1% them, 50-50, but you have a hand in this. And if you believe in God, right, then you would know that we all have free will. So if you keep making poor choices, then you have a hand in this circumstance. But the beautiful thing about that is that you have a hand in these circumstances, which means that you can turn it around. Thank God that everything is not already written for us, that we have some choice where we can maneuver. Because if that was the case, then life would really suck. Because whatever happened just happened and we would have absolutely no control. The beautiful thing is that you have control. The beautiful thing is that you know that you need help. The beautiful thing is that you're here with me this evening. Okay, so by the end of this training, what will you be able to do? The first thing we're going to do, analyze your personal shortcomings, beautiful people, in your relationships. Brainstorm an action plan as to how you will make yourself more desirable and repel unqualified partners. And gaining confidence in your ability to find the partner that you deserve. Okay? You are not asking for too much. I know sometimes you feel that way. Like, is it me? Like, am I just asking for too much? Am I supposed to lower my standards? No. Okay? You are not asking for too much, but you may not be strategic in the way that you're attempting to get it. That may be the issue at hand. But I know that you have some fears. So let's uncover them, because as long as they're hidden, it's going to be a problem. You are worried. You are fearful. You're never going to find an equally yoked partner. Some of you. Some of you believe that the dating scene is too rough. I saw it in the comments. Some of you think that there's pee in the dating pool. There's not enough good potential people out there. And some of you are afraid to open up again. Okay? You have a fear. I gotta move this box because I can't see. Something about having a fear of doing it on your own. You have a fear. Sometimes you're gonna be ostracized. I know I went to a wedding and everybody had a +1 but me. And I felt so awkward. I literally wanted to leave. Like, I went to the ceremony. It was cocktail hour. And in that hour, I told my friend, I'm gonna go, because I just felt so awkward being alone and being the only one. And some of us are afraid that we're gonna just end up dying alone. Okay? Let's talk about some of the myths that you're holding on to, people. This negativity that's causing you to block your blessings. Some of you believe that, oh, it's luck. I'm just unlucky. You know, they're together and their relationship seems so amazing. Oh, because she's so lucky. Well, they met in college. They were lucky. They met in the military. They were lucky. This is not luck. Do you know how many people win the lottery and then go broke in a year? Millions of dollars. They were lucky too, right? Statistically, they were lucky. They won the lottery. Their poor choices made them throw it all away. They lost it all because they had the luck initially, but they didn't plan appropriately, right? And everything else, full of ego, not paying attention to their finances, allowing other people to tell them what to do, not taking control over their life, being cheap and not hiring someone who can help them manage it. So they had the luck and they threw it all away. This is not about luck. This is about strategy and about choices. Some of you have this myth, this belief around struggle love. Oh, in order for me to find love, you know, I have to struggle, and I don't want to
Amen.
All right. You don't have to struggle first. That's not the case. That's not the truth of the matter. The truth is you don't have to struggle first. Oh, what's that couple? They're a rapper. Well, he's a rapper. Gucci Man and his wife, Keisha Dior, I think is her name. So she had to hold him down while he was in prison for 10 years or something like that. And then finally, when he got out, he stopped cheating. He got fit. Now he's so handsome. And then they have their big wedding and they have their baby boy. That is not what it has to be. You do not have to struggle through with this person in order to find happiness later on. And if I just hold on tight enough, I'll be able to stay and ride this horse. No. Now, it doesn't mean that you may have not had to struggle beforehand in order to appreciate what you have now. But the relationship you're in currently, or the relationship I hope to help you find, you will not have to struggle first in order for you to be happy. That is a myth. Let me tell you the truth. Okay? The truth is there are strategies that exist in order to help you find the partner you deserve. And one of those strategies, I am not exclusive. There are plenty of dating and relationship coaches out here. This is the strategy that I developed, and I'll tell you how I got to it in a minute. This is the strategy that will help you get to your end result, the partner you deserve. I call this the SSS approach. Triple S. That's what I call it. What is the triple S? Okay. The first S is to self-reflect. The second S is to step up. The third S is to sit down, or sometimes I call it sit back when I'm talking too fast and not listening to myself. Self-reflect, step up, sit down. That is the SSS approach that I developed. Okay, so this is my story now. So you're going to say, Alison, how did you develop it? How do you know it works? I know it's coming. I know it's coming. So, oh man, I should go back because then that's the good part. That's the end. So let me tell you my story. If you don't know, if you're not on my email list and you've heard this story, then I'll tell you again. And if you are on my email list, then you can hear it verbally. So I was dating this guy from my mid to late 20s, right? Whatever, right? Dating this guy. He tall, dark, and handsome, right? Very established, doing well financially. I dated this guy for 4 years. In 4 years, I asked him to buy a house together. No. Open a bank account together. No. I didn't ask him to get married, but I tried to talk about marriage. Nope. Having a baby. No. So what you trying to do? Like, I'm cute, you cute, we cute together. Like, is that the plan for the rest of our lives? Because as we are approaching our 30s, the expectation that you're doing big people stuff, right? We're all adults here. So in 4 years, if you cannot create a plan and give me next steps in regards to how our relationship is going, clearly you just want me on your arm. And I don't have time to be arm candy. Remember, let's go back to the other slide about biology. I don't have time to be your arm candy. If I was 20, cool. But I'm about to be 30. These are the things that I want. And this gentleman was either unwilling or unable to deliver. I don't know which one, and I don't really care. It doesn't matter. Either unwilling or unable. So guess what? I let him go. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, sir. It's 4 years, and you can't show me anything that represents to me real dedication or real commitment. So it's best that I move on from now and not hold on and waste any more years. And I use the word waste loosely because I still don't think it's a waste, because I learned a lot and I developed this, right? So as I told you guys, I have a master's degree in counseling. So I kind of created my own program without knowing that I created my own program, the SSS approach. So my first S, self-reflect. What did I do wrong in this situation? I'm sure you guys, I'm not gonna stop to read the comments, I'm gonna get distracted. But I'm sure you guys are saying, "What? Wasted your time? That same thing happened to me, girl. He wasted. I am not a slave. I was not chained in his basement. I chose to stay for 365 days times 4. 369, like 1,500 days. You get the point, right? So I chose to stick it out. That was my choice. He did not hold me against my will. And there were other things about me that was undesirable. I can tell you, and I tell all the time when I go live and I talk about this stuff, I was very argumentative, a difficult person to deal with, enjoying argument, like enjoy. I used to enjoy making people feel stupid. Like, you're gonna disagree with me, I'm right, and I'm gonna show you, and and you feel stupid, and that's not a good quality to have, and who wants to come home to that? I also was unhappy at my job. And because I was unfulfilled at my job, I came home with an attitude all the time. Who wants to be around that? Nobody. I know I don't, right? So we need to first self-reflect on where we went wrong in that relationship and where we're going wrong as human beings to become better versions of ourselves. That was the first S. Second S, step up, do the work to become that better person. If it's therapy, if it's journaling, if it's coaching, you need to work on the things that make you undesirable. Because we say that we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all these things from a guy, but would this guy want us the way that we present right now? Are there some things about you that's undesirable that you need to change, and change it? Whatever that might be. It might be inside or outside. Maybe you have low confidence, maybe whatever. Change those things. You have to do the work. That's the step up. And then the sit back or the sit down is opening up your heart and dating again with intention. You can do all that work to become a better version of yourself, and then you still have this wall that's up, and you're not letting anyone in, and you're not giving anybody a chance. you're still in the same position, single, right? So you need to let it go. And again, if that means a therapist, a coach, if you try to DIY, good luck. Go on YouTube, see what you can do on your own. Journaling, affirmations, yoga, do something to become a better version of you. And then you have to let the hurt go and allow your chance, the opportunity to love and be loved again. That is the SSS approach. And look, I did all that. I did all that. And now I have my husband, someone who didn't hesitate, someone who wanted to get married early. After we got engaged, minutes later, he's like, we got engaged on, gosh, it was Malcolm X's birthday, May 24th. He said, let's get married on Memorial Day. I think that might have been like the next day. Ridiculous. Somebody who wanted to take action. This is what you need to do in order to get the love of your life and in order to move on in the way that you want to move on. Okay? You have a choice. It's not, oh man, I focus so much on my education, and so now I've lost out. Unless you are literally on your deathbed, it is not too late. Oh Lord, I went to law school, I went to medical school. I'm starting now, I don't have a lot of experience. You can have your education, you can have your career, and you can have your partner. You have a choice. Okay? Let me tell you about one of my clients. It's not nice to say, but this is the truth. She continuously chased after men who were, quote unquote, out of her league, right? Continuously. They would either not even see her in a crowd, or they would use her for sex and never commit to her and never take her seriously. Over and over and over again, same thing. So what do? Apply the SSS approach. Self-reflect. What are you doing wrong? Why are you chasing after people who clearly are not interested in you? What's going on emotionally, internally to lead you in this direction, right? Number 2, stepping up to change those behaviors so that she won't do the chasing anymore. Work on herself so she can begin to be chased, and then sitting back and allowing love back into her life. That is the SSS approach. Side note, I'm sweating for y'all because if I turn on the AC, the sound's gonna be terrible. So this is my sacrifice to you. I just got my hair done yesterday and I love y'all, okay? Okay. So the first thing is we have to choose our priorities. And the priorities are gonna be, is it that he has a model-esque body? Is that the priority? Is it that she has the Kim Kardashian physique? What are our priorities? What are our non-negotiables? What are the things that are an absolute must that our partner has to have in order for us to consider them? And make sure that they are our priority. Make sure that they are something that's long-standing. The physique is not long-standing, right? Make sure that there are things that impact relationship. I'm about to say something that y'all not gonna like. I'm talking to the ladies in this moment. His height is not something that is long-standing in your romantic life. Whether or not he loves you is not determined by his height. Whether or not he's a loving and caring father is not determined by his height. Whether or not he wants to commit to you and serve you is not determined based on his height. Neither is how full his beard is. Okay? Any gentlemen out there, the booty will sag, the breast will too, especially after she has your baby. The physique will not last. So we need to make sure that we are making choices based on the things that are long lasting, based on the things that will impact. Now, I'm not saying that you should not be attracted to your partner, absolutely, because intimacy is going to be quite difficult, especially for women, if you're not attracted to. But let's really rate what the priorities are. That's what we did. Now, let's go back to this SSS approach. This is the crux of what I do, guys, with my clients. So we talked about self-reflecting with the client I was telling you about, right? Why is she chasing after all of these model-esque men? Well, what we got down to is that she lacked confidence and it made her feel attracted if she had a handsome man on her arm. This is why she chased after these guys who then either never paid attention to her or used her for money, for sex, for whatever, right? So it was her lack of confidence that some people would have never talked to those guys. She does the exact opposite, chases after them. So when she captures them, she feels good, like, yes, I'm worthy. That has nothing to do with them. So did some of those men ignore her? Yes. Did some of them use her? Yes. But why? Because of what she was feeling about herself. It goes back to you. We have to take accountability. So what did she start doing? She said, you know what? Instead of me chasing after guys who are super, like model guys, super attractive guys, she said, I'm going to make an effort to work on my own confidence. I'm going to build my confidence. So I'm going to work on my skin, my this, my that. She ended up, I believe, getting braces so that she could, again, build her confidence. She's not hiding her face when she smiles. And now she feels so much more confident entering to the dating scene, which is crucial. You have to enter into the dating scene with confidence. Okay? Now it's time to sit down, to sit back, right? So she self-reflected on what was problematic, which is that she's chasing after these super attractive guys because of her own lack of confidence. She did the work to build her confidence, hiring me being one thing and then doing some external things, right? Now you got to sit back. Now you're chilling. Now you start dating again with intention and with focus. And we're going to get to the dating in just a moment, okay? I just want to tell you about another client. She's not chasing anymore, y'all. She's not chasing. But I know some of you are still questioning this, right? And you're saying, oh yeah, that's a good story, Alison, and I hear you, but I'm telling you, I've been in the dating game for 20 years, right? I'm 35 years old, I'm 40 years old, I'm 50 years old, I've been dating for a long time and there's no quality people. Or I'm divorced and I cannot start. I don't know what this dating app stuff is about. I don't know where to go. I haven't been in the dating scene. I've been in a long-term relationship for 20 years, 15 years. Or you're saying, oh, well, I don't have control over, it's not only me, it's me and them. So how can you tell me, Alison, that I have control? It's not only dependent on me. Yes, it is dependent on you and your choices. Let me tell you why. You believe, oh, I've had success in my career and I've had success with my education, but I can't have success in my love life because it's not only me who's in the control, it's me and my potential partner. But you didn't do all of it on your own. So the success you've had in your career, you still had a supervisor who liked you. You had an aunt who gave you the plug. You were in a sorority or fraternity. They got you the interview. Like there was someone who was a part of you going up there, up the ladder, right? So to pretend like you 100% did this on your own and no one ever looked out for you is impractical. Your degrees, you're real proud of them. You did most of the work, but there was still somebody involved. There was a professor who allowed you that extended deadline that one time when you were sick or drunk from a party, right? And didn't get to class. There was the department head who helped you to rearrange your schedule because you were a mess and you didn't know which classes you should take and when. There was the advisor. There was the study group that if you didn't have that study group, there was no way you were getting through chemistry, right? You didn't do it all on your own. There's always other people who are a part of your success, even if you choose not to remember it that way. So this idea of, well, I'm successful in my career and I was successful in getting my degrees, but that's different because that was all me and it didn't involve another person in relationships. No, you can make the right choices with the right people and you can get the results that you're looking for, okay? You doubt that you have it in you to try, I can't do this, Alison, I've been on the scene, Alison, I can't. Yes, you can. You can do anything. You have the capability to do anything. I tell this story all the time. When I was learning, before I was learning how to drive, I wanted to drive because I was tired of getting taxis. This is before Uber, right? And you would call the taxi guy and he would say, call back in 5 minutes, call back in 5 minutes. I gotta go. I'm late for work, I'm late for school, I'm late for whatever, right? I'm like, I need a license and I need a car. I live in Brooklyn. My mom's house is off of Linden Boulevard. It is a 7-lane boulevard, scary. Trucks drive down Linden Boulevard. And I'm looking at these people driving. And I thought to myself, I had some curse words in what I was thinking, but I ain't gonna say it on here. I thought to myself, if these simple so-and-sos can figure out how to turn left and turn right and go straight and reverse, if they can figure it out, I can figure it out. I don't know who they are. They could have been doctors and lawyers, but I'm sure there was some simple-minded people. I'm sure there was 17-year-olds who was on that road, right? I'm sure that there were elderly who are half blind who shouldn't be driving anymore who were on that road. And I said, if they could figure it out, why can't I figure it out? If you've done it once before, or someone on earth has done it once before, you can do it too. There is nothing that's stopping you from being able to do it, whatever your it is. Obviously, I'm talking about dating and relationships, but it can be anything. If someone else was able to go back to school, you can go back to school. If someone else was able to lose 40 pounds, you can lose 40 pounds. If it is physically possible for a human being to do it, you can do it, and you can do it again, okay? So stop with the excuses. I love you. I say this lovingly, okay? You are doubting, if I'm talking to my older ladies, that you'll be able to reach those family goals that you have. You had a goal to have a baby. You had a goal to have 2 babies. Maybe you're 39, maybe you're 41, maybe you're 43, maybe you're 47. And you're like, any minute now, I'm gonna go through menopause. Take action. On top of the fact that we're so lucky to be in 2021 because there's so many other alternatives. But take action. That's what you stop worrying and take action. Stop believing the myths. I don't have control. Oh, I don't have time. You don't have time, but you watching Netflix and Hulu. You ain't got time, but you scrolling on Instagram. You ain't got time, but you've been on this thing with me for 40 minutes. You have time. You're making excuses. I don't have time to go to the gym. I just don't want to go. Can we be honest? Can we be honest in the comments? You just don't want to go to the gym. You just don't want to scroll on dating apps. You just don't want to start over again. And that's okay. But we can't say that we have these goals for our families and in one breath and then say, yeah, but I ain't got time to date. Okay. Oh, who's going to babysit? Find somebody.
Come in.
Right? Or make sure you mute.
Oh, okay.
So find a babysitter, right? Oh, I work crazy hours. Find somebody who works crazy hours right with you. Make it happen. Or you think something's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You know how many single women there are out there? There's nothing wrong with you, but there are things that you could be doing differently in order to attract the partner that you deserve, okay? The truth is that you can craft the life you want. You can craft the relationship you want. You can craft, not the partner, but finding that partner. You have the capability to do it, and I'm gonna talk to you more about how to manifest the partner that you deserve. You do have control over your life. You do have the time, and nothing is wrong with you. It starts with your mindset. Let me tell you about another client. Let me paint the picture. Super successful, financially sound, beautiful woman, right? Let me tell you about the guys that she dates. She continues to date mates who they are unwilling to commit each and every time. Boyfriend, not a boyfriend, like worse than that, right? Won't even be a boyfriend. She continues to date people who have potential. She's dating a dream. She's not dating reality. You cannot date potential. You are fooling yourself. You date people based on how they present in the moment, and then hopefully the two of you will grow and then develop together. You cannot date anybody on potential. You're wasting your time. She continuously chose projects. If you're a mom or a dad out there, your responsibility is to raise your child. Your responsibility is not to raise somebody else's child. Stop with the projects. You think that you're doing a Build-A-Bear and then he's or she's going to become this perfect person. You're wasting your time. Date people for who they are, how they present in that moment. And she's like, oh, well, Alison, I just hate starting over. So you're gonna stand, and I apologize in advance. So you stepped in some shit and you're gonna stand right in it? You in hell, and you gonna stand in hell, or you gonna keep running to get out of hell? Come on now. You gotta start over sometimes. Better to start over than to be stuck in a situation that you know has absolutely no end goal that you desire, okay? We gotta start over. Sometimes you just take the eraser and you get rid of the mistake. And not that the human being is like a mistake on earth, but you know what I'm saying? The mistake of staying together. So the first thing that you have to do, all right? And now we're getting into the dating piece. Check my time. All right, I'm doing good on time. The first thing you have to do before you open up a dating app, before you go out with your girlfriends and your guy friends to brunch, you have to change your belief system. As long as you believe that this won't happen to you and you're unlucky and you spend too much time in school and this is why, as long as you believe it's not gonna happen for you, it's not. As long as you believe that it will happen for you, it will. Why is that? As long as you believe that it won't happen for you, it won't happen for you because you're not going to do the activities that will lead to it. As long as I believe that my physique is my physique and I just hold weight in my belly and that's just the DNA, then I'm not going to diet. I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to drink water. I'm going to continue to eat BS and I'm going to continue to have the weight in my belly. As long as I believe it to be true, it is my truth. As long as I believe that, yes, I know that, it tends to be in my family where we have weight in our belly, but if I cut the carbs, I'm not a nutritionist, so I apologize. I'm just, just painting a picture. I cut the carbs, I drink water, I do this, I have my salads, not too much dressing, take the avocado off, take the egg off, drink my water. When I do those things, I'm gonna start cutting the fat away. This is the nature of the game. This is what it is. As long as you believe whatever it is that you believe, then that's what's gonna happen. I had a client who told me, oh, I have to live on my own before I can live with somebody else. Who said that? Is that the Portia Williams? Who said that? No, you don't. For eons, children, like young adults, leave their parents' house to go then be married off with each other. You don't have to live on your own. I gotta see how I function. Oh, I want a year to get. You don't have to. You may desire that, but then now we gotta look back at the clock. Do you got the time for that, right? Do you have a plan to live on your own right now so that you can have this time to be on your own first? Men are intimidated by me. Why? Is all of them intimidated by you? That was my little accent came out. And you ain't do nothing? Is all the men here intimidated by you? Come on now. You meeting 25 men from different walks of life, and they're all intimidated by you. You're the common denominator. What are you doing to give them this feeling of intimidation? Are you bragging off the rip, like immediately about how much money you make or what you do for a living or what car you have or how many properties that you have? That's off-putting for any gender, right? I had a guy who came up to me. He looked me square in the eye and he slapped down his keys for his Mercedes Benz and then gave me the look like, look at the car keys. And I walked away. And I'm sure he would tell his friends, oh, she was intimidated by me and my success. No, you're a loser because you are trying to win me over with a car. Who do you think this is not Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, a new car. Like, you're not gonna win me over with that. So we have to be mindful of what we believe. I intimidate men. Or are there things that I'm saying and I'm doing which would intimidate anybody and would make them uncomfortable? You gotta change your belief system. Okay? Before we get on a dating app, before we go out our friends, we have to construct 3 smart relationship goals. This is the dating part, if you didn't realize, you transition now. We're talking about dating, how to date successfully. Before you get on that dating app, and before you start going out with your friends and socializing and putting on air so that you can have people come over and introduce themselves. This is the stuff. This is the work that you have to do. You promised me that you were going to work. This is the work. You have to create 3 SMART goals. This is what I tell my clients. You write them down every night. In my 8-week coaching program, they write it down every night for 8 weeks, 2 months, 60 days. And I'm going to tell you why in a moment. Then we come up with a list together in our program where we create 5 to 6 non-negotiables. I mentioned that earlier, those priorities. What are the things that my partner must have in order for me to be happy with them? Because you need happiness on your own. You need to be happy with who you are. That's a part of the SSS approach, right? Improving who you are. But what are the non-negotiables? What are the things that are an absolute must? And I help my clients construct them so that we're sure that we're not being petty and silly and ridiculous, which will leave us lonely. Okay? Write that down every night. I'm going to tell you why now. You want to write this down every night in a nice journal by your bed, wherever, right? Not type, really actually write. You want to do that because you want this to become top of mind. I want to remember this. I want to be able to answer to anyone who asks, what are you looking for? And I want to be able to spit it out. Side note, if you're dating someone and they ask you that question, do not give them everything that you're looking for because you don't want them to become a chameleon and pretend to be something that they're not. I'm talking about a friend. If you're having a conversation with a friend, well, Alison, you always complain about guys. Well, what are you looking for? I need you to be able to spit it out. You need to have clarity as to what you want. What I tell my clients is when they work with me, I am their Google Maps. I am their Waze. I help them to get clarity on how to get from point A to point B. Now, can you figure it out on your own without writing in your journal every night? Sure. Can you drive around in your car without a map? Sure. Will you get to the destination? Probably. Are you going to run out of gas in the in-between, AKA give up, be tired, be overwhelmed? Are you going to get lost in the wrong neighborhoods and be scared, AKA dating toxic people over and over and over again? Are you going to miss your exit on the highway, AKA not know when to let go and move on, right? Will you get there eventually? Probably, hope so, right? But if you're taking the tools that I'm offering you, I'm telling you how to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible, just like Google Maps will, just like Waze will. Now, I didn't say that when you drive down that path that there still won't be some potholes. I didn't say that there won't be some roads that are cut off unexpectedly due to construction and we might have to reroute. But we're going to get you from point A to point B if you follow through on what I'm telling you. You need to have a clear vision as to what your relationship goals are. You need to have a clear vision as to what your non-negotiables are. And they should not be petty or stupid. And I shouldn't use that word as an educator, but they need to be rooted in something valuable and not what his height is or how big her breasts are and how small her waist is. Okay? Okay. So how do you construct these 3 SMART relationship goals? What you're going to think to yourself is, how do I envision my life with my partner? That's how you create these goals. This is not a description of the person themselves. I ask people, what are your relationship goals? He has to be loving. He has to be kind. I ain't asked you that. I asked you, how do you envision your life with your partner? I'll tell you how I envision my life with my husband, right? The vision is that we have our dream home. I don't know, it's going to be someplace hot. I like the heat. Arizona, Texas, Florida. We're going to have a pool. We're going to have acres of land. We're going to have a stream, right? Like the house is going to, or it's going to be on a lake and the kids will know how to swim. It's going to be amazing. This is the house, right? I am going to work from home. I'm going to work. I want to work. Work is fulfilling to me. I'm going to work from home. My husband's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. That's going to bring us money in this house, right? Whatever he wants to do. I don't care. He's in construction now. He and I are going to have at least 2 children. Boy, girl, I don't care once they're healthy. And I really mean that, right? We're going to have our 2 kids. Our kids are going to be super bright and or they're going to work really hard. Because I don't really care if they're not the brightest, but they're going to work so hard that I'm so proud of whatever they're able to produce. If they can produce C's and they work super hard for it, I'm happy with that. They're going to be happy children who don't have to heal from their childhood. They're going to be involved in a sport or an activity. And me and my husband are going to be at every game, every meet, every match, every recital, every competition, every performance. I'm trying to think about every version of what they do, right? That's what it's going to be. And my husband and I are going to love on each other till our kids are sick. Oh my God, mommy's always kissing daddy. He's going to be slapping my butt when I'm in the kitchen at 65 years old. We're going to retire and we're going to max and relax. That is the vision I have for my life with my partner. Do you see that level of clarity? It is imperative you have that vision, because what may happen is you're going to find a mate who has all the things that we talked about on the non-negotiable list. But if he doesn't have a similar vision or she doesn't have a similar vision to you, then that's what you call someone's great on paper. They're great on paper, but they want a metropolitan lifestyle and you want to live in the suburbs, making sure you're going to every track meet and football game, right? They want to island hop across the Caribbean. They want to open up a jazz spot in Louisiana. You can't imagine going to Louisiana because you can't stand swamps. Whatever. You need to have a clear vision for your life with your partner, as well as knowing what your 5 non-negotiables are. This is where you describe the person's behavior or character. And let me tell you something. This is not an opportunity on your list of 5 to 6 that you should start doing tonight to put their salary. And let me tell you why. Not that I don't value money. Right? It's not about not valuing money. It's about understanding that someone's salary does not automatically mean that they are doing well. You can date a doctor who's making $400,000 a year and he has a $10 million house and 10 Lamborghinis and he can't even pay his bills. The salary itself should not be on your list. Please do not say, I want a 6-figure partner. A 6-figure partner, $100,000, 6 figures in New York City will get you by. You will not even be in a modern apartment that has amenities on $100,000. The salary itself is not what matters. Maybe if you care, you might want to put a good steward of money, financially responsible, financially secure, and then you define what that is. He has a 401k, he has savings, he's business minded, whatever. Don't waste a slot on salary. And again, it's not because I don't believe that your finances are important, but money, the number is tricky. You know how Jay-Z says, men lie, women lie, numbers don't? Numbers lie too. Because you can make a whole lot of money and overextend yourself, and then you're still broke. Okay? So let's get into how to optimize your dating profile. Yes, dating profile, okay? Oh, Alison, I don't want to go online. The people online are weird. The people online are weird. The people in person are weird. The people online are nice. The people in person are nice. The same human beings in 2021. This was not the case in 1999. In 1999, it was a little. In 2021, the same human beings that are on dating apps are in your reality, are going to your supermarkets, work at your job, and we could talk about job another day, but you get my point. They're in your community. They're the same human beings. So stop it. You're on a dating app, or you have been in the past, and you think that you're not a weirdo. So that means, based on the same logic we talked about earlier with the car, if they could drive, then I can drive. If you are a good person who's on a dating app, then that means there are other people who are good people on dating apps, okay? So how to optimize your dating profile. First of all, having the clarity of knowing exactly what you want out of a mate. That's gonna help you to, when you swipe, you know what you're reading for. How can you read a profile and you don't know what you're looking for? You don't know what the red flags are that go against your non-negotiables. You don't know what the green flags are that go with your non-negotiables. Next thing, you must have clear photos of you and only you. You and only you. Okay? Next, your bio or your about me. Very simple. Your name. Hi, my name is Alison. Something you like to do. And I am a cheerleading coach for my community cheerleading team. And I'm on this app because I am looking for a long-term relationship. My name, something I like to do, and what I'm here for. Name, because it identifies you. What you're on the app for, because it tells you what you're here for. So a lot of people won't waste their time talking to you. And I know you're gonna say, well, they don't read. They read after. They will read eventually. Most of them. Nothing is foolproof. Nothing is 100%. I'm helping you to reduce the foolishness and to reduce the amount of people who are an inappropriate match for you. Put this in your bio, your name, something you like to do, and why you're on the app. You put the something you like to do so they remember. Oh, Alison, that's the cheerleading coach. Tiffany, that's the author. Angela, that's the old former Olympic skateboarder. Next, after your bio, many times the apps will give you prompts. What's a perfect date? What would your third grade teacher say about you? Something, something, something. So you put that, you have your prompts, you're gonna answer the first question very soft. What did my third grade teacher say about me? Alison likes to talk too much, right? We will get along great if you are a fan of Martin. Soft, easy. The second prompt, hard. Why are you on this app? To find a long-term relationship. Soft, what's the perfect first date? Walking down the beach, sipping mojitos. So a really soft and easy response, straight for the jugular. This is what I'm here for. Don't play with me, but don't say don't play with me. You don't want to be negative. No negativity. No, if you're not here on the app, seriously, don't hit me. If you're not, no F boys loud. Nobody wants to be with a negative Nathan or a negative Nancy. No negativity, positive vibes only. The prompt sandwich, the bread, soft, nice and easy response. Hard, straight for the jugular. This is what I'm here for. Soft, nice and easy, okay? And again, just to remind you guys that I will take questions at the end. Feel free to write them down. I cannot read. I see that the comments are blowing up. I can't read them yet, and I actually won't read them. You guys are gonna unmute yourself because, right? When it's time, but I'm almost done, okay? So that's the online stuff, the offline stuff. In-person interactions, you gotta do a two-pronged approach, y'all. It's not only, well, I don't like dating apps, so I'll just do in-person. Then COVID came, then what? COVID's still here, now what? If you wanna get to a goal, a weight loss goal, you're gonna diet and exercise. If you wanna get a degree, you're gonna enroll in school and show up and do the work. In-person interaction and online dating. You gotta go out. You can't tell me that you're doing this two-pronged approach or you're doing just the in-person, good luck to you, but you're doing just the in-person and you don't go out. It's not gonna work. How it's gonna work? You gonna date the Amazon man and the cable guy, which is cool. I'm not judging, but there's no way that you could meet a variety of people if you're not going out. Keep the group small. And I should actually edit this and not call small. A pair. If you are going out, go out by yourself. And if you don't feel comfortable, a good wingman or wing woman. Somebody who is not a drunk who's gonna embarrass you, right? Who's obnoxious, who's a hater, who's gonna step in and, excuse my language, cock block in between you and your opportunity to talk to somebody else. A wingman or a wing woman. You do not want large groups, people. If you are in large groups, no one's gonna approach you. If there's a gentleman who's listening and you're in a large group of your male friends, there's no woman on earth who's gonna walk over. Why? So that everyone can judge her and laugh at her physique and laugh at her makeup and hell no. Ladies, it's the same idea. I know, oh, alpha male, hush. No man in his right mind is gonna feel comfortable walking over to a large group. They may suck it up and do it, but they're not gonna feel comfortable. Why? They're gonna be worried that a large group of women, which is probably their biggest fear, they're gonna laugh at them in their face and embarrass them. Two, they're gonna be worried that some hating friend is gonna be like, it's girls' night. We not here for that, right? Messing up your flow too, and you deserve it because you didn't listen to me when I said go out with a friend who's a good wing woman or a wingman. Or he's gonna have to pony up and buy 7 drinks at $15 a pop in New York City in order to get access to you. He don't know you yet. Why should he have to spend $150 in order to speak to you and he doesn't know you yet, right? Be practical. If it's you and 7 friends and it's me and my friend Ruby and we're over here, he gonna come talk to me because I'm just the path of least resistance. Small groups. Monitor your nonverbals. When you're out, make sure you're smiling. If a person has any kind of awareness and you look unhappy, they probably will not approach you because they don't want to upset you more or they don't want to be on the other end of you spazzing out. Be mindful that you don't have what they like to call, and I apologize in advance for the language, a resting bitch face. It's for the ladies. I'm from New York. That is how we were born. I get it. But as long as you're giving off the energy that you don't want to be approached, the average person will not approach you, right? Be mindful of your nonverbals. Don't have your back to the door. Have your chest open. Give the impression that you want to be approached. If you're doing this, I'm sure none of y'all would approach me if I was looking like this. I look like I'm about to pop off on somebody. You gotta open up. You gotta smile. You have to present as though you want to be spoken to. This is in-person interactions, y'all, okay? That's monitoring your nonverbals. And the last thing is to slow down. If you are running through the train, no one that you want is gonna grab you and stop you. Anyone who grabs you and stops you, don't like that kind of guy because he's what's wrong with him, right? If you are rushing through the supermarket, just grabbing things off the shelves, right? And you're not taking your time, why would he interrupt you? Why would she interrupt you? You're busy. Common sense says, or the way that we've been trained is, you don't bother people who are clearly busy. Remember when your mother used to say, I'm on the phone, right? So you gotta slow down. And I know I live in New York City, that's not an easy feat. We're always in a rush, but slow down, people. As long as you seem busy and overwhelmed, the average person is not going to approach you. So slow down, okay? Do some of the approaching. Well, I'm a traditional lady and I'm not going up to nobody. And how has that worked for you? Because you're here with me. There's nothing wrong with you doing some of the approaching. You will not die. Even if he or she rejects you, you will not die. You can say, hi, good afternoon. I've never seen you at this laundromat before. Are you new to the neighborhood? There's nothing wrong with that. When you are approached or you do the approaching, make it short and sweet. We're not here all night. You're not going to hold him or her up. Then don't hold them up. Short and sweet. Oh, no, I actually moved in a couple of years ago, but the laundry in my building is down. That's why I'm here. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, if you're ever interested in grabbing a drink, then here's my Instagram. Here's my phone number. Or if the person comes up to you and they're having this very fake conversation of, are you new to the neighborhood, right? Help them out. Well, actually, I am quite in a rush. If you're interested, of course, this is assuming you're interested. But I'd love to exchange Instagrams with you or exchange phone numbers with you, and then perhaps we can get together another time. Short and sweet. You don't have to make it painful. Just keep it moving, okay? So guys, you now have a choice. Let's talk about what these choices are, okay? You can take the information I've given you, which is super fun, super cool, and enough for you to probably get started on your own, right? Take it. Or you can choose to work with me or anyone else that's in my industry who you think is a good fit for you, okay? So these are some of the testimonials that I have with clients that I've worked with. She says someplace in the middle that I helped her with her characteristics of what she was looking for. I made sure that she was honest. I made sure she was doing her work. She looked forward to the sessions that we had together. And she began dating for the first time in years since she broke up with her child's father. Okay? Other testimonials, and it's on my Instagram if you haven't seen it already. I want to give a huge shout out to Alison. His experience and journey has been lit. Today's date, he wanted to go early to enjoy the sun and the nice weather. We went to brunch at Suede, it's a restaurant in Brooklyn. And then we walked the Brooklyn Bridge. Okay? Now this one is my favorite one, and it could be because I'm a hip hop head. One of my clients got flued out. So 5 weeks in, I was going on dates with quality men that I vetted and met through Match, dating app. Now I'm exclusively dating a great guy. On our third date, he flew me to Miami, a one-day trip with no pressure. And I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down when we say a one-day trip, which means there was no hotel accommodations with no pressure. That client went on to become engaged 3 months after our program. I went on live and I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, and she's getting married next August. Me and Andrew are in there like swimwear, okay? So I want to talk to you now about my coaching program. The coaching program that I have is called The Partner You Deserve. It's an 8-week coaching program that's done through Zoom. And what we do is that SSS approach, okay? So I help clients to analyze their shortcomings, what they did wrong in their former relationships so they don't make the same mistakes over and over again, to work on who they are to become better versions of themselves so they can attract the right mates and repel the wrong ones. And I teach them week by week, hand-holding them through dating successfully and with intention, okay? So what do? I help clients to clarify exactly what they want in a mate so they can find the loving mate that they deserve. I help clients to reflect on where they went wrong so they don't make the same mistakes over and over again. I help them by co-creating and optimizing their dating profiles so they can attract the right mates, but more importantly, repel the wrong ones. Because I know a lot of y'all got a whole lot of guys and girls who's hitting y'all up, and you like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm not even gonna respond, right? So we gotta repel the wrong people. I think probably the most important element of the program is I help clients to build confidence so they feel prepared to enter the dating scene again with intention and focus. And I emotionally and mentally prepare them for committing to the partner that they deserve so they can build the family, the legacy, and the lifelong love that they are looking for, okay? So my program is it's not for those who are not interested in a committed relationship with one person. Then we're not a good fit, and it's okay, but you're just not a good fit. My program is not for folks who are not ready to face their fears and their old belief systems so they can unlearn some of the problematic beliefs that they had before, and I'm gonna make sure that you unlearn it. The program is not for people who aren't ready to take action and take accountability for their role and how their life turns out. And this program is especially not for people who think that all women or all men ain't ish. If you believe that all men or all women ain't ish, then you will forever be in an unfulfilling relationship or single because you believe that there ain't no good people out there. So you will only find bad people. That's just how it works, okay? So my calendar is open. If anyone is interested in working with me in my program, I want you to go ahead. Once we're done here, I'm gonna do the Q&A now, And you're going to click the link in my bio to schedule a complimentary call to talk about whether or not you are a good fit. I'm going to ask you a series of questions to see if it's a good fit. Or you can go directly to my website, alignwithallison.com/align-with-me, to book that same free complimentary call. Okay, so now I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to ask for anyone who has a question to unmute, because I am hot and my throat is hurting. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and raise your hand, and we're gonna do this Q&A for about 15 minutes. So do not be shy, but you absolutely have to unmute people, because I can't do it. It was kind of dark. I ain't tell me it was so dark. Man. All right, let me see who has their hand raised. So we have Brittany. Go ahead, Brittany. You have to unmute yourself, Britt. All right, Brittany, I'm going to come back to you. Cheryl.
Hi, Allison. Question is, Portia just asked the question in the comments. Is the coaching one-on-one or is it group coaching?
Yeah, so I offer both. I have a group coaching. The program is for group as well as individuals. So it's your choice depending on whether or not you want to share with strangers, people you will never meet, but there are going to be other women who are similar to you across the country. If you want to share with a stranger, if you want to learn from the experience and bounce ideas off of others in a group, some people really like group dynamics. Or if you just want me, like Allison, I want you, I want only you, I don't want to share you. As a former teacher, I do a masterful job of managing a group, but it's still not going to be obviously as intense as 100% one-on-one. So it's group and individual.
Thank you.
Good choice. You're welcome. Is it Tanisha? Oh, no problem, Brittany. Okay, we have Samantha then.
Hi, Allison. Thank you so much for doing this. This program is really great. I just wanted to get your opinion and your advice. Hopefully, if there's somebody that I think I've identified who I think would be a good fit and fits a lot of fits the non-negotiables like you've mentioned, but how to sort of go about initiating that first step.
Sure. So first of all, he's he.
He, yes.
All right, and he's single.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you known him?
We went to college together, but we reconnected recently, like over Twitter.
And how long have you been in conversation?
We've been in conversation since like February, March this year.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is holding him back from initiating conversation with you? Like a romantic conversation with you?
I think we both have like pretty demanding jobs and varying schedules. So that could be, a reason why he's like hesitant.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what I'll tell you is that what a man wants is what he wants. And even if he knows that he can't dedicate himself right now because he's so committed to his work, he would at least express to you romantic interest. Has he expressed any romantic interest?
Yeah, there's been, some interest on like Instagram stories and stuff like that.
Okay. So I'll be honest with you, I would be straight up. And this is what my straight up would be like. I would say simply, hey, are you available Friday night to go out for a drink? ? That simple. If he says no, because he might legitimately be busy, right? Then he would say, oh, no, I'm not really available. And then I would say, well, let me know when you are. And I literally would not converse with him moving forward if he doesn't act. You've asked him out. You've gone above and beyond as a woman. It is 2021, but you've still gone above and beyond as a woman. You've asked him if he wanted to grab a drink. If he says he's available, great. You go out and you see if the chemistry is there and it'll just flow naturally, right? If he says he's not available, you let him know. Say to him, well, let me know when you are. If he doesn't, then it's over. We're not pining after him anymore. You've given him more than enough. You have done more than enough in order to engage. And if he's not picking up what you're putting down, then you're moving on.
All right, good. Thank you.
Now, what I will say is be prepared to lose that connection.
Yeah.
If you guys were friendly, then he ain't friends no more. You're not liking his pics. You ain't gotta block him. It's not that serious, but I don't like you. So I ain't liking your pics. I'm not retweeting your stuff. It's over.
True. All right, good. Good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Tanisha, you back?
Yes.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I met this guy and he fulfills all of my non-negotiables. Like wants long-term relationship, marriage, children. He's very family oriented. However, I realized that we don't seem eye to eye on like some key issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like he thinks the Black Lives Movement organization is a terrorist organization and different like issues like that. So we differ politically, and I'm a liberal and he's more of a conservative. And I just wonder, like, should that be like a deal breaker? Because we've already had a couple arguments over it and we've only just started getting to know each other.
You know, the irony is that if we had had this conversation like pre-Trump, then I would say, politics, schmolitics, like who really even discusses politics in the home in this day and age, right? However, I'm sure that you guys have experienced, no matter what your political beliefs and alliances may be, I'm sure you've experienced a lot of the ends of friendships and relationships over differing political beliefs and ideology. So I think in where we are in this day and age, to be with someone who has differing political or religious beliefs is a recipe for disaster.
Like, the thing is, we definitely have some shared conservative views, but then, and if it was just like, okay, so you're liberal, I'm conservative, let's leave it as it is. But he says stuff like he's gonna save me and he's gonna make me see the light, and all of this that goes to show that he doesn't respect like my stance, and he thinks that I'm gonna change my mind, and that's not okay for me. Like my mom and her husband, he's Republican, she's Democratic. It works for them because they don't really, talk about stuff, but no one tries to change the other one's mind. And it's like, am I going to choose signing up for a lifetime of ridicule and like,
Yeah. So ironically, there's somebody in the comments named Joe, like Flojo, and she has the running emoji. Flojo says run. I would agree. I would say, again, in this atmosphere where political ideologies are so opposite, like, because sometimes we're both in the middle or all in the middle. I don't think it's a good idea, especially if you're saying that not only are you on the spectrum in an opposing way, but on top of the fact that he's like trying to convince you and change you versus just saying, hey guys, or hey babe, when it's election time, let's just keep our mouths shut. Let's not watch CNN. Let's not watch Fox. That doesn't seem like a good idea. And remember what I started with is that I don't believe in a single soulmate. So quote unquote, losing one person and letting them go will not be the end of it all.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is it MY? It's just coming up as MY or my? With your hands up. A beautiful lady with a black background and some blue eyeshadow. The name is MY. All right, we're gonna move on to Katie.
Hi, Allison.
Hi,
So my question is, because I'm not vaccinated and I am trying to do the dating app thing, some of the guys, like, they're like, don't want to, like, after we make plans and they find out that I'm not vaccinated, is like they cancel on me, or it's an issue.
So, and this is a no judgment zone. So please, folks, hold your comments for this question, right? We're not here to talk about who, what, when, where, literally who, what, when, where, why, and how, right? So do you have an intention of being vaccinated anytime soon?
I do, but I'm still skeptical.
Okay, but by any time soon, what are you thinking? Like 3 months, like 6 months, like a year? Like, what are you thinking potentially?
Probably 3 to 6 months.
Okay, so what I would do is I would, if you have decided that you want to wait 3 to 6 months, then you wait your 3 to 6 months, right? You get the shot when you're prepared to get it, right? What I would do though is that there's some apps that have vax or unvax, it doesn't matter to you. I would indicate that on those if the app asks, or I would rope it in to one of my prompts. So I'm trying to think what kind of prompt. Like if it says like, what's your first date? I would say something like, oh, I'd love a outdoor first date, you know, just to make sure we're all healthy and safe. You know, some like try to rope it in some way. And that way the people who are connecting with you are not, in essence, wasting their time or your time.
Right.
Also, you should have the conversation early in the game. Hi, my name is Alison. How are you? Good, good. Oh, you know, just going through a lot at my job. They recently, you know, shut down the 7th floor because we're not vaccinated. Bring it up early. Let them dismiss you if that's how they feel. They have a right to only want to date people who are vaccinated, just like you have your right, at least legally in this country right now, to hold off on it when you're ready. There's nothing wrong with them rejecting you as a result. I do not blame them. They have that right, just like you have a right to hold off, right? So, but you should just say so early in the game so that you can avoid, oh man, I was having a great conversation with a guy for the last 2 weeks, and now I told him I'm not vaccinated, we can't go out. Say it early. Put it out there. As early as someone would say that they have a kid is as early as I would say, I am not vaccinated, but I'm thinking about doing it in the next 3 months or so.
Got it. Thank you.
Just be upfront about it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, the comments are turned back on for the next question, y'all. All right, we have Fatima.
Awesome. Hi, Alison. Thanks so much for doing this tonight. Quick question. So I was dating someone for about a year. It was long distance for at least 6 months. And then I finally moved to the state where, well, in the same area, bought a home. And we were like, okay, let's figure this out now that we're near each other. Between May up until a couple of days ago, it was shaky, personal things going on for him. And he kept saying like, it's really hard for him to manage, you know, getting certs and buying a home. And it's hard for him to be present in the relationship. So I've been working with my therapist, and one thing led to another. We had a conversation and I was like, you know, I just don't feel like we can do this. So I pulled the plug on it, and I came here today because I was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready yet because it's only been, you know, a few days. But as I was listening to you, I was like, I kind of started grieving before the end of the relationship. So my question is like, how do you know when is the right time to get back in? And when do you move from the next point, basically?
Okay, that's an excellent question. So no one can answer that question like categorically, right? What's 3 months for one person is 3 days is 3 years. 3 years being ridiculous, but you get my point. When you guys broke up, did you cry?
I did. I've been like a few days ago, like just thinking about it. I was like, oh, this could have been really great, but I can't force someone to, you know, see themselves in it if they can't see themselves in it right now.
Okay, so my next question was going to be, when you think about it, do you still physically cry?
Not today, yesterday.
Okay,
yeah.
So what I do is I would give it, let's do 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I want you to literally monitor this. Like monitor on a scale of 1 to 10, you could grab a notebook, you can write it down, how you're feeling when you think about him. Now, the key is, this is not you, because you just said something that I think that what I just picked up, what you put down is not what it could have been. We don't know what it could have been. It could have been that you both got married and he became the next president of the United States, you were the first lady and everybody loved you. It could have been that he cheated on you with his sister and had 7 babies. We don't know what it could have been. We're not holding on to what it could have been. We're not holding on to potential. We're holding on to reality. You let go because this guy was unable to deliver. So I want you to monitor for the next 2 or 3 weeks when you think about the reality of him and your relationship, how you feel. If you are still brought to tears, you're not ready. If you are sad, then I would say start dating. When you start having conversations with people, one, it can either be a good distraction Or 2, you will come to the realization that, man, I am not ready. Sometimes you just have to put your feet in the water. Sometimes you just got to test it and see if it's too cold. But if you're still crying, no. Crying, that's over the top. If you're sad, go on a date. When you go on the date, that will tell you like, I did that. This was too much of a rush. And what's the big deal? The guy wasted 4 hours of his life and $150. He'll be okay. Right? That's what you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have time for 2 more questions. I'm going to take Anita Davis. Miss Anita. Anita, you there?
It kept jumping around the screen. Hello.
Yes,
So question, I am just starting to talk to a guy and I forgot how I worded asking him what he wanted, but he said that dating is not a priority to him. It's not even in his top 5. It's like 6 to 8 because he's really trying to focus on his business and really getting that to where he wants it to be.
Move on.
He still pays me a lot of attention.
Move on. You're looking for a committed relationship?
Yes.
He is not. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You wanted a pack of cookies. That's what you want. You want a pack of cookies. Are you buying potato chips?
No.
No, because potato chips ain't cookies. Anita?
Got it. And I typed it.
Thank you. Love you. DM me later. See you on Instagram me. All right, Leah?
Yes, hi, Allison.
Hi, Leah.
So yeah, quick question. I know a lot of times dating apps, they kind of have this reputation that they're just for hookups. So I was wondering if there's any, I guess, subtle clues you can look at when you're looking at someone's profile, because people don't just come out right there and say, oh, I'm trying to hook up, or they don't even come out directly and say, oh, I'm looking for a commitment. So is there any subtle clues you can look at in someone's profile to identify, you know, what they're really after?
So there aren't subtle clues. They're very blatant. And you'd be surprised if you get to the right profiles, because you're probably sifted through a whole bunch of BS profiles. I'm assuming you're talking about men's profiles?
Yes.
Yeah, so men do a terrible job of writing profiles, even good ones. They're terrible. Photos are all wrong and everything. But what I will say is that you will get the impression of what they want, literally based on what they say. Men are not very good at cues. So they're gonna say, looking for friendship, looking to see what develops, looking to go with the flow, a friendship that develops into more, anything that sounds like very clearly not a long-term relationship. I don't expect them to write marriage. If they do, then okay. They might be like a nice Southern boy or something. But if it's anything that does not sound like I want commitment, I want a committed long-term relationship, that is the cue.
Okay.
Anything that sounds butthurt is the cue. Negative Nancy's, negative Nathans. I've been here before. I'm not here to play. Like, we don't want no negativity either, because that means they're hurt, which means even if they say that they want a long-term relationship, they're not emotionally prepared to create one.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Demetria?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So I probably answered my own question, but pretty much I'm in this situation. Been in this situation for like 4 months. I mean, not 4 months, since February. And pretty much the guy that I'm dealing with, he's been married before. And we recently actually had a conversation. He kind of is an honest and truthful person. So he'll tell you what he wants and what he doesn't want. So he was like, I want to be married. I want to have kids. But at the same time, the way, I guess it's on me, I kind of went into the situation talking about my previous relationships. And he explained to me, he was like, the way you approached me with your previous sex stories and your previous relationship, it made me feel uncomfortable. And he was like, the reason why I won't step into a relationship with you is because that you're not healed. You're not healed yet. And he's like, I see a lot of red flags that in you that I see in my, past relationship. So, but at the same time, he doesn't want to lose me out of his life. So I'm just like, okay, you don't want to be with me because I'm not healed in what the words that you use, and I'm showing red flags that it's the relationship that you don't want, but you don't want to lose me in your life, and we continue to be intimate and being in each other's lives. Like, we text each other every day, like, you know, hey, I made it to work, or have a great day, and all this type of stuff. Like, he's still caring, but I'm just like, should I stay, continue this, or
he's still engaging with you because you are giving him access to what he wants? Not only sex, I don't only mean sex, but a girlfriend without having to be my girlfriend. So that when he's ready to bail out, he can say, well, sis, I told you I didn't want to be with you. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% confident that what he's saying about you is even true. I don't know. A lot of times people like to put the blame on other people. Well, you know, if you did this, if you did that, we wouldn't be in this. So it's your fault why you're not together. It's his fault. What he could do is he can say, babe, I have feelings for you. I want to grow. I want to develop with you. I do think that you need some healing. Would you consider going to counseling before we move forward? Right?
Yeah.
Because if you're broken, so to speak, right, emotionally, mentally, then, but he wants to be with you, then he would encourage you to fix it. If you wanted a chair and the leg was broken, you would fix the broken leg.
Yeah.
You wouldn't throw the chair out altogether, right? He don't want the chair. He wants access to the chair because the chair is pretty and it's around, right? He wants access to you because you're pretty and you're around, and you keep him company and you check on him, and you give him all the good feeling that he likes of a girlfriend without the commitment.
Yeah.
I said to Anita, I know Anita through Instagram. So I said, Anita, run. And I said it so roughly because I feel like I know her. But I'm gonna say it's now that I've softened the blow and now I know you, I'm gonna tell you, run. This guy is wasting your time. Now, if you believe that there's some work for you to do, which there is work.
Oh, no, of course. I definitely have a lot of, like, I've been diagnosed with depression. Like, I know I need to be healed, like, for sure, because I self-sabotage every relationship that I've been in. I actually have a guy that I've known for 10 years, and he's literally like, I will marry you tomorrow. But something in me just won't do it. Like, I don't know.
There might be something that you're picking up subconsciously. So don't say like, oh, I'm destroying. Like, look, just because somebody wants to marry you don't mean that they're a good partner. But I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
But what I was gonna say is work on you, but that's a BS excuse. Move on. He's wasting your time. Okay. DM me if you want to talk more. I could talk at like 9:30 because I have this live stream that I just pushed back by 5 minutes. So I could take these two last questions, one from Joe and one from Whitley. But feel free to DM me and we could talk more. Okay.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Joe.
Hi, Allison.
Hey.
Great talk. I'm glad I joined. I have a question regarding your coaching program. Does it address, so I feel like my problem sometimes, because I get dates and I go on dates, but then down the line, it's like the discernment of picking the right partner. And also on the dating apps, I have trouble like with conversations because I'm an introvert. Do you help with that?
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question. I'm so glad that you asked. So in the coaching program, we very specifically talk about what questions to ask. And I didn't speak about that. What questions to ask, how to pick up on red flags, and then how to move on out of a conversation and say it's been a pleasure, or how to escalate that conversation into saying, wow, I'd love to talk about this more. Here's my phone number. I'm normally free around 7. That is the line. That's how you get from the dating app to your phone so that you can move on. Because dating apps are a virtual bar. You don't want to live there for weeks. You want to be there for 10, 15 minutes. You exchange information, you keep it moving. Dating apps, a little bit longer, 2-3 days. After that, it's either we're not engaging anymore because Alison has taught you what questions to ask, when to ask it, what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, how to ask it in a way that's not interview style, but you're still assessing what you need to assess, and then either dismiss them or to smoothly transition. So absolutely, I help clients with, I think that was part 2 of your question, about questioning and conversation and that piece, right?
Yes.
What was part 1 again? Tell me again.
About discernment, because I find that my problem also is like I go out I'm on the dating app, I get to the in-person part, but like 4 months down the line, it's like, I should have seen that, or like my discernment of like picking certain men. Yes. I noticed.
That's an excellent question. So absolutely. And you know what? The joke is actually that I help you with discernment, but I teach you how to discern, because you have me for the 8-week program, and then I do another 4 months of support. So you DM me, WhatsApp me, whatever, and I work with you for 4 months thereafter. But I teach you, because after me, then what? Right? Like you need to learn how to discern on your own, because I'm not going to be there all the time to say, oh, Allison, help, here's a screenshot. What should I say next?
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And then Whitley, my love, you're my last one. Miss Whitley, you there? Okay, it seems not. Whitley, I heard a little whisper. Okay, good. So I gotta run. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining. This is being recorded. I'm gonna email it out to you in about 24 hours so you can have the recording. I'm gonna jump on Instagram Live right now. So if you enjoy hearing me talk some more, then go ahead and join me on my Instagram page. We're gonna be talking about finances in your relationships, okay? It has been a pleasure. If anyone is interested in working with me directly, please go ahead and click the link in my bio, tap the 3rd button to book the complimentary call so we could discuss more about the program and if it's a good fit for you. If it's not a good fit, I'm not gonna sell you what doesn't work, but I'm gonna make sure that I help you for your next steps, okay? And then Demetria, don't forget to DM me on Instagram so we can finish that up, because I hated to have to cut you off like that.
Already did.
All righty, babes. Gotta go. Love you so much. See you in Instagram land, or the land of love. Bye-bye.